problem for Chelsea fans. But today they are going to host Southampton at this bridge. So let's see if Maresca and his boys can get all 3 points. Hopefully they can get all 3 points. Welcome guys. Today Barcelona is going to be playing Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the semi-final of the Copa del Rey. It's going to be a huge game for Barcelona. Can they win Atletico? It's going to be a tough game in Spain, but let's see who comes on top in that game. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and I'm here with the A team. I'm here with John. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, my people. Good morning, football maniacs. It's another exciting episode of this show, and I'm super glad to have you here. Let's see if Chelsea will deliver or not.
It go hard. Imagine Maresca drawing today. Everybody will kill him today because they are playing raw, but everybody is collecting points from Southampton. They are donating to everybody. Imagine them drawing or losing that game today at the bridge, but I don't think it's possible. But anything is possible in football. Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live now on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. It means that wherever you are in this world, in this planet Earth, you can always join this show anywhere you are. Just join, go to YouTube and type Vote FM Sports. We are live there now. Okay, John, the Premier League is back and Chelsea is playing today. I'll give you the fixtures of the games happening today. Then we'll talk about some of them. Today, 8:30, Brighton is playing Bournemouth. It's going to be a huge game. Battle of top 4 is there. Crystal Palace is going to host Aston Villa, and Wolves is going to play Fulham. Then finally at 9:15, Chelsea will host Southampton. Okay, let's start with Chelsea. Maresca has been losing games, back-to-back games. The Chelsea fans are angry, wondering what is happening. At some point, they were second on the table.
Yeah.
Everybody was hoping that probably they are going to challenge for the title, but Maresca came and said, okay, it's top 4 we are looking at for this season. It's top 4 because he doesn't want to give Chelsea fans high hopes. And it didn't work out for him. He started dropping points everywhere. Now they are where they are. Now they are playing Southampton that are rock bottom. Southampton are a team that distributes. They are charity givers.
Yes.
They don't only dash points, they dash you goals. They don't give you 3 points, they give you like multiple goals, maybe 4, 5. They just dash you goals anyhow. But in this game, what do you think Maresca needs to do? Because the last time he played with 3 man at the back, but injury came in and he switched the formation again. But today, playing Southampton, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, I think this is another golden opportunity for the real Chelsea FC to show up, because Chelsea have looked like a different side of themselves in other encounters in the last 2 or 3 games, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting all his players to come to the table. There was an interview that was, aired some time back where was asked about Cole Palmer's form, if Cole Palmer's drop in form is affecting the team, because Cole Palmer is the guy they usually look up to get some of the goals and create opportunities. And he said that it's not a problem for him, that he doesn't see a problem, that he doesn't need to address Cole Palmer. And moving on to the next question. So for me, like in this scenario now, we've had a situation sometime in this season when Chelsea fans were like, everything is passing through Cole Palmer, but there are other players in the side, and of course they moved him out of his position and tried to put other people in that position, tried to build through other people, and it's not working. So I think the first thing is to replace Cole Palmer back to his normal position, play their normal position, which is a 4-2-3-1 formation, put Cole Palmer behind the 9, and then put the key guys on the flanks. And for me, every time Maresca has changed his starting lineup, every time Maresca has tinkled with his formation going into a game, they've struggled. So I think the fundamentals, Maresca should go back to the fundamentals, play the key players in their position, play the best players in their position, and then tweak his gameplay, because Chelsea are always fond of 1 or 2 things. They concede goals carelessly, 1, and then 2, their transition football is not where it needs to be right now. Whenever Cole Palmer is not in that position, maybe he's playing on the wings, they are not as effective.
Not as effective as it is. But let's see what Palmer is going to do today. But for Chelsea, they have a striking problem, a strikers problem. If you look at the way their main striker is injured, Jackson, even though that Chelsea fans have been complaining about Jackson for a very long time. Then Nkunku had an opportunity to shine, but Nkunku is not doing anything.
And we've had this conversation severally in this studio, where I'm saying that if you look at Jackson's numbers, you can criticize Jackson for not scoring as much goals as Didier Drogba and other striking legends at Chelsea. You can criticize him for his poor conversion rate, but the guy has numbers. He's the leading goal scorer for Chelsea this season. And then you look at Nkunku's number pale in comparison to Jackson. And I'm wondering, how does he have a better conversion rate? Because even when we've seen him start games, play 90 minutes, Baba cannot deliver anything. He's giving me a deja vu of Manchester United strikers that have been unproductive in the past 2 months. So Chelsea are in a fix whereby going into the end of this season, they need to sort out the issue at the attacking position. But since Nkunku is not delivering, you have GU there. You have other players who can play as false nine. Find somebody who has a better work ethic that can play as a false nine, at least until Jackson is back.
Okay, let's see what Maresca is going to do today. If he's going to play 3 at the back or 4 at the back. But Chelsea are in a better position in the Premier League. They are looking like they are not going to qualify for the top 4 this season.
It will be a sad outcome if they don't qualify, man. Even
though the Maresca said that the plan is just to stabilize Chelsea this season. That's what he said, though. No be me talk him, now him talk him. That his plan is to stabilize Chelsea this season. But next season, they will not challenge.
There's a saying that goes that there's always an unseen party in a marriage or a union. In this scenario, the unseen party was Chelsea fans, because when they were having that conversation behind closed doors, the fans were not considered, and now the fans are the one piling on the pressure on Maresca and the board. But I think that he should deliver Europe this season.
Europe is Champions League or Europa League. Europe can become.
Europe is Europe.
They are playing Conference League. They don't want to play Conference League. I think Chelsea
at least Europa League.
I think they are ashamed to play a Conference League this season.
But at least let them win it. You can be ashamed that maybe you were demoted in the office, but at least you have to put in effort and earn a promotion, right? So in the Conference League, they have to win the Conference League, at least earn a call up to Europa League, and then maybe if they finish better in the league, they could still fight for top 4 position.
Okay, Chelsea is hosting Southampton by 9:15 today. Chelsea fans will try as much as possible to get all 3 points if it's possible. Okay, let's get your prediction for this game. Okay, let's talk about Southampton. They are going down. There's no need to talk about them too much. They are. What do you think?
I think Southampton's season so far this year has been a failed experiment. If you are going to get a manager in to take over the club, you need to look at the manager, look at his profile. We have managers that are relegation saviors. We have managers that can stabilize you in the Premier League, maybe 14th, 15th position. We have managers who can push you to Europe. And we have managers who are too new to come to the league and haven't done anything in the league that they will struggle initially, but they can come good. I felt they should have let Russell Martin continue on the job. And since his sack, it has always been southward for Southampton.
Okay, Southampton.
So they should get ready for relegation.
Southampton are 20th on the table. They have only 9 points this season. They have conceded 61 goals.
They are the least club in the entire Europe in terms of points achieved so far in this season. They are the least. You have clubs that are in German football, clubs that are in Spanish La Liga that are bottom of the table, but they are on 24 points.
Okay, let's see what Southampton, if they are going to, they will not survive though, so let's leave that one. If they are going to at least gather more points before this season ends. For Chelsea, in the last 5 games, they have won 2 and lost 3. So Chelsea are in, and that's about who back-to-back defeat for Chelsea. Yeah. Imagine them losing today again, and Maresca said will be on the plate. But let's see what Chelsea is going to do today. Your prediction for this game?
It's Chelsea's game to lose. They should be winning.
Okay, other games is Brighton versus Bournemouth. If you look at those 2 teams, Brighton are 9th on the table with 40 points. Bournemouth are 6th on the table for 3 points, just 3 points separating both of them. So both of them are looking to qualify for Europe this season. But if you look at that game, who do you think? Brighton is a funny side. They will lose 10-0 and come and trash Chelsea or trash one big team 5-0 in the next game. You don't even know what to expect from Brighton these days, but they play good football. That's why I like them. No matter what happens, they play good football. They always play good football. But again, more Bournemouth that everybody are surprised of this season, truthfully. Them having for 3 points.
Bournemouth and Nottingham.
And Nottingham, if you look at where they are on the table, they are 6th on the table, which is very, very good. The same point with almost the same point with Chelsea. Okay, same point with Chelsea. They're even above Chelsea on the table. Chelsea is 7th. Imagine them being ahead of Chelsea. But this game is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game because let's not forget there are two things you consider when you talk about these football games. You consider the team's current run of form, you consider the key players available, and then you consider who has the chip on their shoulder. For example, a chip on the shoulder could be you're coming off a loss like Bournemouth are coming off a horrendous loss against Wolves, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And they need to win this game, not just for winning this game's sake, but they lost the opportunity to scale the Premier League, right? So they need to win this game to at least scale up, and at least, let me say, 10 games to go, 8 games to go, whatever, no matter where the chips fall, you are somewhere in Europe.
You know, if they won, if they won that game the weekend, they will be fourth on the table, just 1 point behind Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
which would have been, imagine them being on top there.
It would have been a good thing to see, because over the past 3 decades or more, teams like this don't even reach the top 6.
Yes, but if you look at Brighton now, who do you think will win this game, Brighton or Bournemouth? Let's get your prediction for that game.
For me, I'm going to go with Brighton in the sense that they are playing at home, one, but not just because they are playing at home. When you talk about teams that have the firepower to attack and then to control the ball, control possession, and then close out games, you talk about Brighton. We've said it here a couple of times. They have some exciting talent there. You talk about the Yakubu Minte. You talk about the Jao Pedro now. You talk about Dingra, a couple of other players, and even the resurgent Danny Welbeck. I like the setup. I like the players they have in that place. I feel that they can do a job against the Bournemouth side, who suffered a loss in the weekend, and it's yet to be seen if Bournemouth have recovered from that loss.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. That game is happening 8:30. Okay, let's move on to the next game. It's Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. These two teams, Aston Villa won against Chelsea last weekend, so they are in high spirits. Emery, buy players. I don't know what is wrong with it, especially Arsenal. Buy players. I don't know what is wrong with this Arsenal team sometimes, or some of this team at the top.
It's crazy.
Look at what Aston Villa did in January. They sold Duran, made money, got loan for Rashford.
About 4 players on loan, man. They didn't spend that much. They spent
only on Malen.
Yeah, they spent on Malen, and then they made money, and they got about 2 or 3 other players without spending money.
They brought the
Wise
on loan.
Yes.
Brought Rashford on loan.
Yes.
Brought Asensio
on loan.
And look at what they are doing.
Look at the other. It's fantastic.
Talking about this game, there is this guy that is in Crystal Palace that has been scoring goals. His name is Mateta.
Yes.
He's been scoring. I don't know what. There's something that touched him this season. Not this season, actually. For the past 2 or 3 months, he's been scoring games back to back to back. But if you look at now, this game, it's going to be a tough game for both teams. Both teams are not really in good form, but Crystal Palace is around 13 with 3 points, but Aston Villa is 8 with 42 points. They are in that contention for that top 4. Remember, they are playing the Champions League, and they are in the last 16. Once you test that Champions League, you want to play it every year. Aston Villa have tested that thing, and it's sweet. That is sweet. That's what they are working at. They have won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Anytime they are working out from at home, they play that Champions League trophy on that walkway for you to go come out for the field. So they like it, they want to enjoy that experience, but they are on course actually to qualify for the top 4, because if you look at them from 3rd to where they are, it's just 4 points. But in this particular game, who do you think will win this game? Rashford will
what we are seeing at Crystal Palace is a transfer of mantle. There's a scripture I love so much that says, my father, the horses and the chariots of Israel, and then the mantle of Elijah fell down to Elisha. Right, so somebody in this team now, I'm not going to call his name, but you're going to know him just because of where he's playing. Now he's playing in the Saudi league. After being touted to go to Arsenal, he moved to Saudi, and then he passed the anointing for scoring goals to Mateta. You should know him. What's his name now? He played at Crystal Palace before he left. And Mateta and this other guy have been able to just man that team and be able to produce goals for the team in dire moments when you don't expect it to come. The guy I'm talking about is what's his name? Mikel Olise, that left and moved to Bayern, and then his anointing now is following Mateta. Mateta is scoring goals for fun. In this encounter now, the question is, Crystal Palace have a penchant of allowing teams get on the ball more. One, and then hoping to hit them on the break. But if you play in that setup now against a team like Aston Villa that have what it takes to shut you down, to play compact and then attack like they've not seen. You have a few outliers at Aston Villa side, which you talk about. You have outliers in the form of what's it called now? You have outliers in the form of the Rashford, the Asensio. Let's not forget that this Asensio used to be a one-time stellar player for Real Madrid. Yes. You have the firepower in Rashford. Rashford doesn't score as much goals right now, but he's creating assists, he's creating his runs are dangerous. You can't track his runs, man. And then he's also tracking back to defend for the team. You also have the firepower in the setup with the Oli Watkins. So I'm just looking at this game now. I'm saying that Crystal Palace have a threat in the side. They have a Mateta. He can score goals. The team can create for them. But if you look at the other side, you are going to see that Aston Villa are a different beast this time around. They have what it takes to credibly shut these guys down and close out this game. And if you look at their bearing so far, they are pushing back to a Champions League spot. You can't be fighting to qualify into the quarterfinals, round of 16 and the other of the Champions League, and you are losing out on an opportunity to go back next year. Of course, if they put this thing in cold stone for your mouth, you go know what you go do. So okay, that's the thing.
Let's get your prediction for that game. Is Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Who wins today?
I'm backing Aston Villa, man.
I'm backing Aston Villa.
I just hope Rashford scores so that United fans will be pepper on a day.
Me too, I'm hoping that Rashford will score today. Adi has been playing well, and Emery has been talking about him. Every press conference he's talking about, he said he's going to help him to achieve his goals. I think that probably after this season he's going to move to Aston Villa. Probably need to take a pay cut.
There is a clause in his contract for 40 million. One. Secondly, does this also point out to the type of manager Amorim is? Because there are certain managers that come in, they buy their players and they build their team. The other managers that come in that improve the players that are already there. Because Aston Villa made 8 signings in the summer, but let's not forget that the bulk of that team was the same team that has been underachieving for the past 2 or 3 years, and this man came in, and galvanized everybody, improved everybody. Look at players that we don't really talk about in the league back then. The is it Marcus Ramsey or the other players? All of them are over-indexing and outperforming their normal, and it's only because you have a coach who can develop players in place. So if he's able to develop this Rashford into a goal-scoring, goal-assisting machine, people are going to be looking across the pond at Manchester and like, man, it's Amorim. Like, it's his loss.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. It's Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Okay, the next game or the last game for today is Wolves versus Fulham. Wolves won their last game in the Premier League, so they are probably going to survive that battle of relegation. Everybody is trying to survive. Wolves just won that game last weekend. Now they are playing at home to Fulham. You know, Fulham are a team that's trying to qualify for Europe, even if it's Conference League. But for Wolves, do you think that winning this game, they will survive this relegation if they win today?
They're already 5 points away from the relegation zone, right? All they just need to do is keep increasing that separation. That's all they need to do. And it doesn't need to be a win. It doesn't need to be a loss. It just has to be a draw or a win, and they increase that gap. That's the most important thing. Because you now start having a conversation. When we get towards the business end of the season, we'll now start having the conversation of which club is going to play which team in that relegation battle. What will the outcome of that game be to influence the game? But if you're already 9 points ahead of the 3 teams in the relegation zones, you're safe. It's not a question of West Ham not dropping down below you or rising above West Ham, and then West Ham not being the team that will not be sucked into the vortex of relegation. So 5 points clear, good gap, good game. All they need to do is ensure that their performances don't drop against Fulham. And then in this game now against Fulham, this is a game where they need to be, their defense game needs to be on point, because Fulham have some very fleet-footed wingers that know how to bear down on you. And once you see them bearing down on you, it disorganizes your thought process. We saw it in the game against City Madrid. We saw it a couple of games in the Premier League. And in this Fulham side that we are talking about the likes of the Adama Traore, we are talking about the likes of Iwobi and a couple other wingers that are so fast that they can bear down on you. And so they need to convert. This is a game you need to conserve, pack the boss, and then grind out a result, because Fulham are going to be powerful. And, you know, Marco Silva is no pushover, so he's going to want to push up the table and then compound on this season's result by next season.
Okay, our own Basi and Iwobi might be starting today. So let's see if Fulham can get all 3 points or Wolf can continue after winning that game, last weekend's game. Let's see if they can win because they are in this relegation battle. But as John said, they are 5 points ahead of the next person that is Ipswich Town. But let's see what happens today. Okay, this is all the games that are happening in the Premier League. Let's get a prediction for that game. Wolves and Fulham. Who wins?
I'm going to back Fulham.
Maybe back Fulham. Okay, let's see who wins today. Remember, guys, Chelsea is playing Southampton by 9:15 today, and Wolves is playing Fulham 8:30. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa 8:30. Then Brighton will take on Bournemouth by 8:30. So let's see who wins in today's game because I think this is final game for February.
Yeah.
In the Premier League game. So let's see who is going to get all 3 points today. Okay, let's move on to something happening in Spain.
There'll be some Premier League games tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So we'll come tomorrow and talk about those games.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go over to Spain because in Spain something's happening in Spain. It's Copa del Rey semi-final.
Also in Italy too.
It's in Italy too. So it's Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. That match is happening by 9:30 tomorrow. Okay, John. If you look at that game, it's a heavyweight clash between these two guys. If you look at both teams are. If you look at where they are on the table. It's just 1 point separating Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. So it's going to be a tight contender. But now we are not talking about La Liga. We are talking about the Copa del Rey. Now Barcelona is going to be hosting Atletico Madrid. What do you think will happen in this game for? Because your guy is there. You know your guy is at.
Of course, Alvarez is there. Alvarez is on the side. Hopefully he scores today, but it's going to be a tough one to call because both teams are capable, and both teams have quality players in the side that should be able to create a flurry of chances for them. You have the likes of Rafinha on the Barcelona side, you have Yamal, you have Lewandowski, you have a couple of other talented players in that side. And if you look across the park, you also have Atletico Madrid, you have Solot, you have Alvarez, you have Griezmann, you know. So I think it's going to be a game for whoever controls the midfield. Because we've seen Barcelona being shut down this season. We've also seen Atletico Madrid shut down this season. The difference has been that whenever Atletico Madrid has been shut down this season, it has been an inside problem. Players in the team underperforming, a few key players not available, and some of the key players who are on the pitch not producing the numbers. Like you see the likes of Solot and Griezmann not scoring as much as they should. That's when you've seen Atletico Madrid being shut down, and it's always been grinded down to a draw. Worst case scenario, a narrow loss. But on the Barcelona side, you see a team that is hard for you to shut them down. Except they are just these little demons. They are little demons in La Liga that their only mission, we call them kamikaze clubs. A kamikaze is a Japanese or Korean fighter jet pilot that his mission is to ram his aeroplane into your ship and die. He commits suicide, ram his thing into your ship and go. So there are clubs in the La Liga. Their only mission this season is to go and beat Barca. If they can beat Barca and finish 15th, they are okay in their life. And against such clubs, you have no way of breaking them down or pushing through to win. So in this scenario, it's going to be a game where whoever does their ground job on the opponent wins, because you've seen Barca lose, you've seen Atletico Madrid lose. It's now picking up the strategies from games where they've lost and implementing in this game.
Okay, Barcelona, this is a two-leg games. They play this week. Next week, they play the second leg of this game. So Barcelona needs to get not 3 points now, but get a win so that when they go to Madrid next week, they can be easier. But generally, if you look at what Hansi Flick have done for Barcelona this season, I think he has done a great job. Based on he have not really signed players in quotes. I think it was only Olmo. They always took them time to register. Yeah. I don't think he has really bought this kind of player, but he has managed the player that he has, brought in some academic players, and they are doing well. I think he has done a great job with Barcelona this season.
Yeah, one of the things that they say that necessity is the mother of invention. Sometimes when, like, I want to make a porn reference now, when you are Tony Stark and you are locked in somewhere against your will under kidnap, you have to find a way to get freedom. And in this scenario, Hansi Flick now was like Tony Stark, because he's locked out, no funds to sign the players he wants to bring.
He cannot even register players.
Trust me, Hansi Flick is the manager that buys.
Yes.
He's not the manager that bring you to develop, right? So as much as we want to give him plaudits for this season and the way Barcelona is playing and everything, we also need to tell ourselves some home truths, which is, Baba, whoever is his backroom staff for the Barcelona you set up or whatever, we see you, though we don't know your name, but we see your hand, because this guy has managed a terrible situation. Barcelona have the mountain of debt they are dealing with. They can't even register players. They need to even sell in the summer before they can even buy players. And so for them to have gotten where they are, at a certain point in time, they were top of the La Liga with about 9 points. Okay, and they've had a phenomenal season in all regards, because it could have been worse. Okay, but in this encounter, hats off to Hansi Flick and his team, and then hopefully they can continue in this light and sustain it, because Barcelona have the ability to score 10 goals in a game.
Yes.
The issue is they concede some goals that you tear your hair out and you're wondering what's happening here. That's what they need to mitigate in this encounter, because is there a team that can beat Barcelona on the break? Is Atletico.
Atletico is going to be playing today for Simeone. Simeone is another coach that I love, because he has been at Atletico. When he came to Atletico was like a middle team, but he took them 1-2 La Liga titles, reached 2 Champions League finals, where he lost to Real Madrid twice, which was heartbreaking. The second one was heartbreaking because he lost on penalty and Griezmann missed the penalty in that game to win that game for him. But he has done a great job at Atletico. But let's see what happens.
No doubt. And he would want to win another La Liga title.
Yes, he wants to do it. I think they will give him a lifetime contract at Atletico, because truthfully he has transformed that thing. For him to build that thing to compete with Real Madrid and Barcelona in this era, he did a great.
Also managing them through the transition from their old to the new stadium, Wanda Metropolitano.
So he has done well. But today they go to Barcelona to play the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final. So let's see if his team can get something in Barcelona, or probably they might lose, but they have the second leg to do something again in next week. But let's see what happens in today. It's Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. That game is happening by 9:30 today. Okay, before we take phone calls, let's move out to Italy, because the Copa del Rey, not Copa del Rey now, the Coppa Italia is happening in Italy, and Inter is going to be playing Lazio in the first leg of that encounter. If you look at this game too, what do you think will happen in this game? I think it's going to be a great encounter.
It's going to be a great encounter. All you need to know about this game, just look at the head-to-heads. That will tell you everything you need to know. Now in this area, Inter have beaten this guy 6-0, right? But if you look at it, they've also played out a couple of draws and a couple of wins. So in this encounter, is like I will say, there's always that X factor in these games that is going to come down to who has a chip on their shoulder, who has a point to prove. Lazio will have a point to prove in this game. The question is, will they have the tools to be able to execute that point they want to prove in this encounter? Let's not forget that Inter has one of the best defense in the Serie A. They have one of the best defense. They may not concede as much as other teams. They may even concede more than the teams in the top 4. But you talk about the characters in the defense. You talk about the shape of the team. You talk about the tactical moves of the manager Simeone Inzaghi. You talk about the strength of characters in that side. The team is loaded. The question is, Inter still goes into some games and underperform. Look at their performance in the Champions League, in the league states, and other performances. You just see it happen. So it's a game where Inter should be winning, but I'm expecting a shocker.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Inter is going to be playing Lazio today in the first leg of that Copa. Let's see if who wins in that game. But let's get your prediction for that game. I didn't even get your prediction for Barcelona and Atletico. Who wins in that game first?
I'm going to back Barcelona, but my guy will score.
Alvarez will score. Okay, for Inter and Lazio, who wins?
I'm going to back Inter.
Back Inter. Okay, let's see what happens in these games happening today. Okay, I'll take phone calls before we start telling other news, because Manchester United are in the news again. They are trying to sack their plenty of their staff because they want to cut costs. I don't know, inflation is happening everywhere, so they want to make more money. So we'll talk about that after we start taking phone calls. Now, the number to call is 0706 048 5853. Tell us, especially Chelsea game, what do you think that Maresca should be doing if he loses this game? Do you think that they should sack him if he loses this game against Southampton today? Okay, let's take the first call. Okay, hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
Dave Hamden.
Welcome.
Okay, what is your contribution?
You see this Atletico Madrid vs Barca?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 3-2 for Barca, no doubt. But I know Atletico will put up a fight, but their fight will not be enough.
Okay.
For Chelsea today, not draw match.
You want to make the game Maresca?
They will put up a fight too, and I think the fight will help them.
Okay. Okay.
After 3-2.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Just is playing Southampton today. If they draw that game, what do you think will happen if they draw that game? I think
nothing should happen if they
Come
draw
on,
the game.
this is Southampton.
Nothing should happen
John,
if they draw the game.
Come on. Okay, let's take another call. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is Joseph. Name is Matthew. I come from Alba.
Okay, Joseph from Alba. Okay, what's your contribution?
Good morning. Everything the lady in the studio. Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
He's
Actually,
a guy,
it's a guy. His name is John.
Okay, John. He gave me a voice.
Okay, what's your contribution, man?
Okay, for 30,000.
Mm-hmm.
If Chelsea lose this match.
Okay, we lost that call. You can call us back. Number to call is 0706 048 58.
Let's not think negative. Let's support Maresca, right? Let's just support Maresca to get the win, or irrespective of the results, back the man, because una don't do fire managers. Let's say the truth. Chelsea have fired a lot of managers, and a lot of them have been exited after they've turned the team around. And the closest name to my mind is Pochettino.
Okay, let's see if they are going to somehow retain Maresca if he draws this game. But tell us what you think. Do you think that Chelsea, they should sack Maresca, or at least let him go because what I'm saying that Southampton are a club that delivers points to everybody. So, but let's see. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah. This is Alex. I'm calling. I greet everybody in this.
Okay, Alex. Good morning. What is your contribution, Alex?
Talking about what is his name? Few that people first of all talked about this man with the Atletico.
Who is that?
Okay, Alvarez.
Alvarez.
No. The coach that.
Okay, Simeone.
Okay,
Simeone.
Yeah, Diego Simeone. That man has been doing a fantastic job.
No doubt.
Not only in his coaching career, but I think with his family. I think one of his sons is playing in Napoli.
Yes.
Another one is playing with him in that Atletico.
Yes.
And the two guys are doing fantastically well. See, I think there was a time that the man played in that Atletico. He went out. I think was it so that they sold him, and he was their captain at that period. He came back and returning to that Atletico Madrid team. The last person that was holding that captain bag was Fernando Torres.
Yes.
If you think I'm just saying for saying sake, you can just go and check.
Okay.
I watched the clip. Once that time I watched the clip, and the man was. The pattern that he used to play in the pitch of play is also the pattern he's playing as a coach now, and it has been paying off for him. And I think he's a fantastic coach, so to say. He knows how to bring the big boys, calm their head down. Just like the athletes that don't want to listen, the big boy. Don't go Barcelona, come back, he's still calm. And I think the man has a man management quality. He knows how to do things with players. He knows how to go on that result, no matter how bad it is. I must say kudos to him.
Okay.
And as for Chelsea, they should come down, just like John said. They have been hiring. And the one that I didn't even expect was that Pochettino home, because the man has built that team.
Yeah.
It was how he used to, bring out the best of it, even though he's going to bring the best of the result before he was sacked. But he knows how to grind that result at all. But why will Bowie, releasing of it, is going to bring in Enzo Maresca that has not been tested just because he carried Leicester to Premier League? It's not supposed to be, but I think they should come down. They are going to see the effect of how other teams like Man U, Arsenal, and Liverpool have been suffering in the hand of Americans, and it's kind of upset. It made them just calm down.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's see if what will happen to Chelsea if they lose today's game. Is going to be very, very tough. If Maresca loses today's game, I think they should allow him to just to build. If they say 3 years, give him 3 years. Because truthfully, Southampton can actually get a result in this game if they play well. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, yeah, handle like copa.
Okay. Okay, wait till you forget.
Yes, why should they sack him? You know, for past 3 years now, Chelsea have not met up 2 and 4. And he's doing it. He's running it for them. So why should they sack him? It's not possible. Okay. Yeah, they have to put the carry trophy for them.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see if they are going to start Chelsea. Okay, if you talk about other news for Chelsea, for Manchester United, before I talk about Manchester United, let's take more calls. Everybody talking about Chelsea and Maresca. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, Godwin.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Timothy and John.
Good morning.
Lord of Chelsea, John from Penyo in Benue State.
Okay, welcome. Please can you step away from your radio set? I can hear you at the feedback here.
Okay, off it.
Okay.
How is work going? Good morning.
Fine, good morning. Work is fine. What is your contribution?
It's been a while. Your section is not sounding well in my area, though sometimes I get you and the word took you bad. Well, I thank God I'm through today.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. In fact, Chelsea, it will take Chelsea many seasons before they will bounce back because of this reason. You see, Chelsea, back in the days of Ibrahimovic, his era, you saw what Chelsea was.
Yeah.
And down now to Tombohi, you see what Chelsea is going in. Now they over-rely on Palmer, and you see Palmer is now deforming. And if you could see Tombohi, I'm sorry, I stand to be corrected because Tombohi was the best bowler. He wasn't a footballer.
Of course.
And now he took over from Chelsea, from Ibrahimovic. And for him to employ people that understand what football means, he now sack all the backroom staff and look at what is going with Chelsea. Maresca, to me, the very first day he was announced that he's appointed as a Chelsea coach, I was so happy. It was down in the hall that Tomboy went and brought him up because he was bringing Leicester back to league. What does that mean? Look for a quality coach. He's an average coach. You see, Maresca is using players wrongly. If he's a winger, he will convert to a midfielder, and that is how he's changing the players. You cannot get the better result. Fixing a player, future a player in the exact position he was playing that you saw it and you went and bought him, so that he will continue giving you the better results you saw in. And now he's been changing. That is what Chelsea is thinking down.
Okay.
But I'm not happy as a blood of Chelsea. I want Chelsea to bounce in the UEFA, Champions League, Europa, not in conference or be out of the 4. I am not happy.
Okay.
So, Enzo should better be stuck to me. And Tomboy, he's a billionaire. Let him go and bring in a quality coach so that Chelsea will become what Chelsea was before.
All right.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us on the show. Okay, for Manchester United, they are going to start sacking people. After sacking 200 staff last year, they are going to sack another 150. They are trying to make profit everywhere. They are saying that they have too much staff at Old Trafford, but they are going to start. They say that they have not been profitable since 2019.
Yes.
They have not been, even though
I have a very loaded stat on this that I'm dying to share with you.
Let me take this call before you give me that stat. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Matthew, I called back.
Okay.
See, I kind of about the last speaker. See, Enzo Maranqua is an average player. I don't know why he's like that. And if Enzo Maranqua loses match today, I think he should be arrested. Yes, he should be arrested. See, when we were kind of, was it for 1 point off Liverpool, he was saying we are not entitled to it. Now they dropped to top 4. We are not pushing for top 4 now. They are out of but they are now in 7 to 8. That man don't use him Barcelona draw down.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, hello. Okay, I think we lost.
I am supporting Bata to you where I see atletico Madrid. They can send out one back.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My greetings to your colleague here, John, that has a video voice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, John, give me that start. Let me hear.
Okay, I want you to picture this now because this is the There's this, our people have a saying that, it's when, I don't know how to put it now because my Igbo is, but there's a fundamental problem in Manchester United, and if you are chasing chickens when your house is on fire, then clearly your priority is out of place. Let me give you this one now. The Glazers family borrowed £604 million to buy Manchester United, who were debt-free at the time. Now, the club has paid £834 million in interest to service that debt. 19 years later, that debt is now £731 million. You paid 800 to service the interest on the debt. Right now, the debt is £731 million, right? United currently owe £391 million in transfer debt with a total debt of £1.1 billion. But that's not the main thing. Look at the main thing. The Glazers have taken out £171 million from the club in profit, and then taken out £1 billion from the Ineos teams for selling 25% of the club. So you borrow money buy club, double the value of the borrow money where you use buy the club, put them for the club head, collect £1.2 billion out of the club and put in your pocket. Why won't the club be where they are financially? Why won't Ineos cut? Ineos will have to cut even if it's 500 staff because the Glazers are still in control of the commercial side of the club, and they are not giving the man any money anytime soon to run the club. So if he needs to fire 500 people, he will fire.
Okay, let's see what happens with Manchester United if they are going to improve financially. Okay, let's take this call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godwin. This is Engineer Additional from Kanseko.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Yeah.
If you don't run.
Andrew is not on seat today.
No, man. My brother, let me tell you something. Leave all these Chelsea people. They will complain tire. Number one, they go settle with Abramovich one. Number two, they go settle with Thomas Tuchel two. You see, if you see club where they wish another club bad luck, now so bad luck will come to them. I want to see that I can make it come out too because they will collect Woto this night. I don't know if they like it or not. Woto, they will collect them. I can't even pity them at all. Like.
Okay.
I can't pity them because the team where they wish Man U, Arsenal, Man City, they will be here. So let them take see that thing where Arsenal don't collect for many years. If they say they be Champions League title. They don't know Arsenal for Europe. They don't know them for Europe. Let them chop that thing with them plan for them.
Yeah.
Make the eyes.
All right.
So leave them. That's for life, my brother.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's for Manchester United. For Real Madrid, Ancelotti came out and said that Modric can stay as long as he wants. That means if he wants to stay at Real Madrid next season, he can stay. If he wants to stay 2 more seasons, he can stay. But he has done well. He scored the first goal in their last game in the weekend that helped them win that game 2-0.
The important thing about this thing is that they see him as a model professional to the younger players.
It's true. He
is.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good
morning. Name and location, please.
Bishop.
All right, what's your contribution?
John, thank you for the thing you read now. You know, that's what I'm supposed to say. I think that where they run this club, they are running this club like, I don't want to use what I want to use now, but they messed up the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at these people that came in, first of all, it's a business.
Yeah.
They are here to do business. They put their money. They are here to do business, first of all. So the way that I was even asking myself, is it that Man U is overstaffed? look at 200 as of last year.
Last year, yes.
Now, I'm that 200 again.
To this
And
year.
work is still going. I was happy that you want to overlap those who remain or that they are overtasked. If you look at it, you see that I don't need the issue like ghost workers are even part of it.
It's not ghost workers. It's the club is laboring under debt.
No, some people they giving the work that they are paying them is not needed.
Is that
True talk, yeah.
Yes, that's what I say. Because that's like you don't want working over neighbors. Because it is true. How can you remove 200? Can you want to remove an organization that you sack like 200? And then you want to sack again. That shows that after you remove 200, like nothing happens. The work is still going like some people work not even needed. And if you go look at it, there are some ambassadoria and all that, that is not needed. First of all, it's just a whole, it's a business. I know what they are doing. They want to do is structure the crop. And in fact, saying this crop has to be sort of from the A to the Z. Now, they also doing it in the field. If you look at all these players on the highway from 300 to something, they are not using their eyes. That is hardcore and cool. You say, after like 2 years, you will see that if you earn higher, if you earn 150 or 200 at man, you know your worth.
Yeah.
Look at them, all these players everywhere are with it. They don't want to know how you are playing. Because as they are out, they are wishing you well that you play well so that they will pay. They are wishing Rashford well so that after that we bring them 40 million.
Of course.
And they will bring the one they will be paying 150.
Of course.
So everything they want to cut costs in everything. The cost is on the lot. Like for our start like this, it's on the news now. They are running on the lot. That means no profit. And someone came into the club. You want him to continue like that? He invested now. So it's not done. And don't forget that the man is in charge of the footballing activity. That's
yes.
Yes.
All
right. Then the Glazers was the one that built the club.
Yes.
So I'm not against what they are doing because are coming now. It's no longer business
as usual.
Disruptive innovation, according to the Tamba, definitely coming. I'm sorry for those people that we hear the Lord, but it must happen. This kind of thing do happen. You all work in organization. It do.
Yes, it happens. All right.
Sometimes some people will come in and they will say, this your work is not needed. Or that one person can cover the queue. Why should we be paying that much? Because and also we are not buoyant enough to pay. And they are also running on a loss. So understand the own part of the story.
All right.
Them.
Okay.
And before I go, finally, just people I don't understand. This man just came in. I'm a fan of giving somebody a time. If you are doing that, what you might say about Amory?
Thank you.
We should also start within a year or two now.
All right.
So that if you didn't do it, you know somebody did not do it. For me, it's too daily. I have done it before.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, finally, before we go, Syria, our president Simonelli has revealed the plan together with the Premier League clubs and Premier League organization to close the summer transfer window before the start of the leagues. We want the window to close before the start of the league. The same with the Premier League, but La Liga will not close before 31st of August. So they are planning, both of them, they are planning to, before the league starts, they then conclude all their business so that everybody will not be start transferring before.
I think it's a good one.
Before the league starts. Okay, this is how we're going to end today's show. So tomorrow we'll come back and talk about that time Chelsea. This time tomorrow Chelsea have already played. We'll see if Maresca should be going or should start packing his bag or he should be staying. But today we will find out by 9:15 for Chelsea versus Southampton. Thank you for joining us today's show. My name is Godwin. See you tomorrow.
Hello Enugu and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports. Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side, the delivery comes in. Oh, it's a great entertainment. News and politics. Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Daalụ na ndị be anyị ekene m unu Igbo ndị ọma njem ọnụ unu a na-emekọ ọfụma.
Exclusively on
Volt 104.3 FM.